Hi guys, welcome to this episode. I believe it's episode 10 of the film review show.
Hi.
Thanks for watching the previous 10 episodes. This week is a very special guest show. We have watched and will be shortly reviewing Let the Right One In. Special guest star for this episode is Lee Robinson, alongside an old favourite, Matthew Keleher. First of all, welcome to the show, guys.
Thank you. Hey, buddy.
So, guys, I'll throw it open to our special guest star, Lee, first of all. Lee, what did you think of the film?
Pile of shit. No, I did enjoy it. I've never seen a foreign. Can I say that is okay?
Yeah.
I've never seen a foreign depiction of a vampire genre film before, so that was quite interesting. I've never seen that sort of take on a I didn't realise sort of Sweden liked vampire-y stuff, because it's like a sort of a deeper take on a vampire genre, because it was like a love film, an angsty film, a coming of age film, and a modernised sort of vampiric, is that a word? Vampiric take on it. So it had quite a lot of elements that I enjoyed.
Matt, what did you think of the film?
I enjoyed the film. It was quite good. It was quite entertaining, and yeah. It was sort of a beautifully shot film. You know, lots of sort of.
I concur.
It just sort of took advantage of the sort of natural lighting of the sort of setting. You know, it was it's a very sort of wide open, icy cold spaces. You know, and darkness and just sort of the way it's sort of dark virtually all the time, and it was yeah.
Was it the best vampire film you've seen?
Of all the vampire films I've seen, I would have to say that it's probably up there with the best.
Why?
I've just not seen that many vampire films, but that's not to say it wasn't a good film. It was quite sort of. It was a little bit of a refreshing take on what say the American take on the vampire genre would be, as Lee said.
They did remake it for the Hollywood audience.
Right. And was that better than
But it wasn't.
this one?
Well, I've not seen it, but it looked terrible.
Yeah.
Kiefer Sutherland.
It was like this summer.
Yeah.
Make sure you let the right one in. And they just taken bits of the story and just ruined it.
One way in which it would be better though, so it would be in English, so it would be easier to understand, wouldn't it? There is that. You would have to read all the subtitles and stuff.
I thought. What was that question? You asked Matt then. Do you think it was the best vampire film?
Yeah, that was it.
No, yeah. No, it's hard to answer that, because there's so many vampire films out there. It's hard to sort of say if it was, because a lot of them are sort of the same. You know, the basic principle that
Stake through the heart, wouldn't stake through the heart sort of thing.
I mean, it's no Salem's Lot. That's good. I was like, whatever. That's a great vampire film. But it's like, they're all after the same thing usually. They need blood to survive. It's a subtext within the film that's meant to get to you, isn't it? with that with vampire films these days. It's like it's the franchise now. It's more about the characters. Like in old vampire films, it used to be about, say, like Dracula, say, Blade. No, not Blade. That's a bad example. Well, you know, he always needed blood to survive, and that film tries to sort of get into the backstory of the characters, and it's told from like a little 10-year-old boy. Is he 10? Is he think he's about 10?
It's 12.
12. Doesn't really matter. It's told from like a 12-year-old boy's perspective. So I suppose that's actually quite good. I suppose that's never been done before, really, with a vampire genre film. But to say if it's the best, if it's up there, I'm not so sure. There's so many.
And another interesting thing as well was like Eli wasn't the main character. Like Oscar sort of took the lead a little bit, and he wasn't like a vampire himself, but it sort of he sort of drove the story in a way, you know. Like Eli was just like
she was like his sort of guardian.
Yeah, like a guardian in the sense of.
And she like made him, I suppose, like stronger.
Absolutely, yeah.
And made him feel like he could sort of, you know, like there's a bit where he's against, he's being bullied, and he can finally stand up to them.
Yeah.
Because of sort of her like words of wisdom. But it's sort of like he sort of wins a battle with them. But if you've seen the ending, I mean, does he win the war? Because
What did you think of the ending?
what did I think of the ending? Shit, what was it?
The ending was a little bit ambiguous. It was like after the pool bit. After the pool, he was on the train and he was like, you know, drumming the code into the suitcase.
Yeah, what did that mean? Because he did that a few times.
So it's not sort of clear as to like whether he's just moving on somewhere else.
Probably going to IKEA.
Yeah.
I've just realised she was hallucinating.
Oh, what with cats?
Yeah, she must have been.
Yeah. That links.
It makes sense.
That links are quite.
Because when she's in the hospital, there's nothing on her, is there? And
No.
She's,
No white scars or
Yeah.
oh, no markings.
well, there's no cats on her and she's still behaving as if...
Yeah,
I mean,
she's
come on.
still.
I mean, come on, man. I mean,
Yeah.
if like they're going to get the cats off her, like,
Yeah.
the paramedics are going to come into the house and they're going to still like think, oh
Yeah.
fuck it, we'll just get her in, and then we'll just allow these cats to stay on her until they get to the hospital. They're going to like pry them off her, aren't they?
Yeah.
That fear is shit.
Yeah.
Or it could have happened.
I think it happened.
Yeah,
I think it half happened. Maybe it was on, because there was about 20 cats, weren't there?
Maybe there was
only
one.
like, maybe it was only like 2.
Right. Yeah.
But that's not, you know.
Yeah.
But he did have a lot of cats.
Did he?
Yeah.
I didn't see the cats before. Like she was attacked.
Maybe
by
she
it.
didn't like them.
He was sat outside and he saw the first guy getting killed, and he had a cat, and then you saw him go in his house and he had loads of cats.
Did he?
Because he didn't leave his house much.
Just to put
I don't know
that
that.
put that conversation in context, there was a character called Gina, who was attacked by Eli, and it seemed as though that she'd survived, but you know the sort of after effects of the attack caused her to be hallucinating and to be institutionalized, and sort of had a flashback to the attack. We weren't quite sure whether it was real or imagined, or maybe a bit of both. And she was attacked by dozens of cats.
I did like when she set on fire.
Yeah,
That was
spontaneously
that
combusted.
was fantastic. I mean, because it was just so like I thought that was going to happen as soon as you drew the curtain. I thought, like, I didn't think she was going to just spontaneously combust.
No, I thought
she just melt or something.
Yeah.
It was just like naked flame, wasn't it? It's like someone put loads of fucking what's it called, flammable oil on her, and someone just threw a match. And it was like You know, like
It's sort of hinted. I mean, obviously, like we know the vampire rules that they have to stray away from sunlight.
yeah,
Like she sort of woke up in a bed, just lifted away the curtains. It was clearly unbearable to her.
yeah.
But you didn't get a hint that she'd like
No,
burn
no.
half the wall down, did you? You know?
I suppose we've got to put that into context as well because the girl Eli, she called Eli, yeah.
Yeah.
She infected a woman. She tried killing her, drinking blood, and she was attacked by this woman's husband. He kicked her off, and then she had to sort of escape because she didn't want to get caught. But she didn't die. She just got infected, so she started. I'm going to start turning into a vampire because she went through. She had started to develop the vampiric.
Yeah.
That is a word, isn't it?
Yeah.
The vampiric. I don't know. That sort of stereotypical emotion.
What did you think of the nudity in the film?
Oscars underpants. Yeah, they're nice then. yeah, I've got a pair myself. They were lovely. I mean, I suppose we've got to be quite careful what we say about that because can get it's a bit sort of dodgy these days, isn't it?
Yeah, there'll be loads of comments on YouTube.
There's no like, you know, you can't just say
Yeah.
something like that, something like that innocently these days. It sort of gets misconstrued. So there was a bit where he was sort of in his underpants at the beginning. I didn't think anything of it. I thought it was quite natural. Like, well, you know, 10-year-old boys have underpants too. He's just a 10-year-old boy in his underpants. There's no problem with that. There was a bit where he saw Eli, who was 12. It was meant to be 12, but because she's been infected by a vampire, I'm gathering she got bit by another vampire at some point when she was 12-year-old. The same thing happened to her with the woman that she bit who spontaneously combusted, but she survived. And she was nurtured by something, so she stayed 12-year-old, but really she's probably about, you know, well, who knows, but she's a lot older than 12. You see her undressing, you see a little bit of the old genital area. But, you know, she's not 12-year-old, is she? She's not 12. And she's not played by a 12-year-old girl, is she? She's at least 18. She's at least legal. So, you see a little bit, I think I'm just digging here. I'm just digging.
Matt, what did you think of the nudity in the film, Matt?
You start like, you know, as
I didn't have a hard one.
as Lee said, it wasn't sort of
It wasn't erotic.
no.
Thank God.
Would you have been worried if you had found it erotic, Matt?
No, because I just wouldn't. I wouldn't because, you know, I'm clearly not a paedophile. so I would just, no way. I mean I've seen, oh my God. How do you make this sound? I mean, maybe we should move on to another one. It's a very sensitive subject.
Vad var det för grej vi skulle göra? Vi ska blanda. Det är ju inte alls ont. Men du behöver ju bara sticka dig i fingret.
Matt, favourite character?
Well, obviously the
Lee, favourite character?
Favorite character. Probably.
it's not easy. Is it?
No, I'd probably Oscar.
What?
It's like-
Why?
Because I suppose you can relate to him in a way. You know, he's introverted. You've got. He's obviously struggles to make friends. He's lost. He's like sort of on a pathway that's leading to somewhere he doesn't know, and you can relate to that. Once he meets Eli, he starts to find, himself a little bit, and you can relate to that too because he's sort of growing up. Doesn't know who he is, but he's got like a guide like Eli who sort of helps him develop confidence in himself.
Would you agree with that, Matt?
Yeah, I'd agree with that. I mean, I think Oscar was definitely the most sort of sympathetic character. I mean, he was very much on his own to begin with. You know, obviously he had some trouble with those guys at school, and like Eli could have been like real or imagined in a way. You know, it was just. As what Lee said before, like sort of a guardian angel of sorts, that just sort of watched over him and just gave him the courage to sort of fight back where he felt it was needed.
Yeah.
But that's quite an interesting point as well. No, it's not an interesting point. Eli was definitely a real character. It's
Yeah.
yeah,
Oh, Eli was definitely.
Yeah.
I bloody hope he was. Jesus.
yeah.
Lee,
Yes.
favourite scene?
Favourite scene. I mean, I do like a bit of violence in films, so probably there was the scene where he had, he didn't kill him, but he had a little boy chained. That guy had a little boy chained up upside down in the snow jail.
Yeah.
That was good because I just like sometimes in films like nobody's safe because in like horror films, I don't know what, maybe not particularly in vampire films, but we're saying before, how films sort of develop. You always get the cliche horror style of films is that the sluts always die, the virgins always survive, the jocks always die, and the kids usually survive as well. But even though he did survive, I suppose, but he nearly got killed.
This sort of kept you guessing a little bit
shit.
through a bit of.
Shit! Sorry. Fucking the end bit, the bit in the pool. Everyone all the kids got killed. That was my favourite bit because they deserved it, even though they were only like 10, 12-year-old. They were just pure evil.
They were prepared to. Yeah. Wait, but was it the kids or the mother? He was like the instigator. He was and he was like about 17 or whatever. Wasn't he?
Yeah. I'm glad he got killed.
Yeah.
But I think she spurred one of them who was really, really sort of succumbed to the peer pressure. He had blonde hair as well. He looked like Oscar's brother. He was spurred.
Yeah.
because he was probably the one that was getting peer pressured the most. He didn't like doing it because there's a bit where he's bullying Eli with a whip stick
Yeah.
thing, and he's hitting him across the legs, and he
Yeah.
clearly like there's a lot of like distress in his face. He doesn't like doing it, but because he's feeling peer pressure by the main bully, he's got to do it. So the bit at the end with the pool, the vampire girl, Eli kills everybody. That spares him.
Did you think he was going to die?
Oscar, when he was being drowned.
Mm.
No.
I always
knew she was going to come to his rescue for sure. It's a horror film.
Yeah.
They always usually horror films always work on that. They've always got that sort of way of ending all the time.
Matt,
Yeah.
favourite scene?
Well, my favourite scene has got to be the sort of Whiskers commercial gone How Could It Run. Yeah, I just had the sort of vision like in the scene where Gene's attacked by the cats that it's just a sort of set of pampered cats who usually enjoy the very best things in life, like a pouch of rabbit whiskers in fine jelly, and on one day they're all out at the supermarket, and she comes home with the store's own brand, and the cats just lose their shit, there's clawing. There's not an inch of a body that isn't covered by a sharpened claw and teeth.
Final question. I'm going to ask it to you both. First of all, I'll go to a special guest film critic on this week's episode, Lee. Lee, would you watch it again?
The foreign films? No, I wouldn't. No, sorry. No. Yeah, no. I couldn't be honest.
Matt,
Once you've seen the film, you've seen it.
Matt, would you watch it again?
I think like pretty much the same as Lee, really. It's a little bit of a cult classic. I've seen the film now. Probably wouldn't watch it again. No, I didn't enjoy it, but it was a good horror film. You got a couple of hours on a Sunday night over, but yeah, I probably wouldn't watch it again.
Finally,
Yeah.
marks out of 10. First off, I got to our old favourite, Matthew Keleher. Matt,
Right. Well, I'm going to give this a crowd pleasing 6 sharpened fangs out of 10.
Lee,
Cinematography was very good, so I think you've got to give it sort of maybe half an extra mark for that. So I'll give it 7.5 Lost Boys out of 10.
7.5 Lost Boys out of 10. How many is that out of 5? It's about 3.25, isn't it?
Yeah, I'd say so.
It's 3.25 out of 5, and Matt, yours was 6, wasn't it? Or was it 6.5?
No, just around 6.
Oh, was it around 6? Okay.
Yeah.
So yours would be 3 out of 5, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Great. Well, thanks for joining us in this week's episode, guys. Thanks for joining us today, Lee.
Time.
Just want to point out that let the right one in. If you want to watch it yourself, guys back at home, you could pop into FOP or HMV.
Never watched it.
Or you can look for it online, Amazon, eBay. Just try and find a copy of the film, download it, or buy it, and then put it in the DVD player and press play. Regular viewers would be interested to know that this episode has been shot on a Nexus 7. So not the same camera work as previous episodes. Let me know, guys, in the comments below. Last episode had
Did you get comments?
4 people watching.
We did get comments on the.
There have actually, yeah, there have
Yeah.
been comments
Yeah.
recently.
What,
Yeah.
from people?
From
that you
people I don't know.
Yes, it's
Yeah.
nice. It's nice
I
to
know.
see. Nice to see that.
Seriously.
The
appreciators-
Scum one has had 200 views.
Yeah.
Has it?
Yeah,
Bloody hell.
I know.
Right.
But then there are episodes that, like
It's
him
just-
talking about Blade
we
Runner
just-
on his
we-
own
we
for
just
half an hour,
realised-
at 4 views or something.
They all watched it all the way through. You know, just it's just sort of goes so deep into the subtext of the film. You know,
He hadn't even watched it.
Really?
No, but I mean,
Well,
we always appreciate it when you do leave your feedback, guys. I mean, it was nice to see that that he did appreciate our review of Scum in particular. That was a firm favourite among our viewership, and yeah, if you enjoyed the review, if you didn't, you know, just let us know in the comments below.
subscribe. There. No. No, actually, on that side. I say that.
Just put an annotation in after.
Also-
I'll just do that with,
Yeah.
just for context.
Yeah.
Subscribe one of these sections here.
Yeah.
Yeah, it could. Yeah,
How many subs have we got? We don't really subs, have we?
I think 6.
6.
Yeah, but I know everyone who's subscribed. But it's not yeah. Anyway, so thanks for watching. Hopefully, Lee, we'll see you again soon. Maybe next month, if you're free on a Sunday night.
Yeah.
Um,
Make some regular appearance.
That'd be great if you could.
Yeah.
It'd be really great. I'll get a shot of you all together. So yeah, thanks guys for watching, and hope to see you soon. Thanks Matt, and thanks Lee.
Thank you all.
Goodbye.
Yeah.
Ooh. Oh God. It's nearly 1 o'clock in the morning.